All right, guys, rolling down the road, heading to the lake. I got my hat on. It is pretty chilly outside today. Add to that it's cloudy. It's gonna be a cold day on the lake. So I'm gonna do some drifting for some catfish. I got onto a bite yesterday that was pretty interesting, and I caught some fish suspended. So we're gonna do some suspended fishing for catfish. Basically, these baits are gonna be up off the bottom, not on the bottom like we typically fish for them. And we're gonna see if we can put some in the boat and show you guys how to do it. All right, boys and girls, it is a chilly December day. We're about, I think we're one day before the new year. So I'm gonna do some fishing. Got me some chicken, my favorite. And what I'm gonna do today is do some suspended fishing. And what I mean by that is, these baits are gonna be up off the bottom. I've got his here set up, Carolina rig, nice basic simple setup. I'm gonna put a piece of chicken on it. This is just it's a 5/0 Hooker's terminal tackle circle hook. What I'm gonna do is, we'll do a couple different things. One, I'm gonna put some straight underneath the boat. And that's what this is gonna be. It's gonna be straight down underneath the boat. I'm just gonna let this line go down. We're in about 30 feet of water right here. I'm gonna let this thing go down, hit the bottom. You'll know when the spool, when it's on the bottom, poof, it's on bottom. Let me get that to about the angle of my tip. Now I'm gonna crank it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Just gonna raise the bait up off the bottom, put it in a rod holder. It is gonna be ready to fish. It's ready to catch a fish, simple as that. What I'm gonna do is take one of these other rods over here, one of these Catch the Fever rods. Again, a Carolina rig. We get another piece of chicken. Same kind of deal, same setup, just a sinker, Carolina rig. Line, sinker, swivel, leader, hook. I'll put a piece of chicken on it. Boom, it's pretty good. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do it on this side. I'll drop it on this side. I can do it on either one. I'm gonna let it hit the bottom again. Watch it go down, watch it sink, watch it sink. Going down, going. Poof, it's on the bottom. Again, 3 cranks off the bottom. 1, 2, 3. The difference on this one is, I'm gonna put a planer board on it. Get it out away from the boat. So, opening up the spread here, what I got. Probably easier to put the planer board out first, so I don't get into this other line, but we can make it work. I'm just gonna move this line out of the way while this one swims out, or actually you can put it right on the inside of it. Let it work its way back that way. That's really all there is to it. We'll get these in the water, get them fishing. I'm gonna put all these out, and I'm gonna put out 4 rods on each side, or 4 rods total that are on typical Santee rigs. So 8 rods. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see how these play out here. Boom, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. I think we got one on the planer board, guys. The suspended bait on the planer. Just noticed the planer started not swimming anymore. And get that drag tightened up. I lifted up on the rod. Get this moved out of the way. And sure enough, I felt a head shake. So suspended bait on a planer. Looks like it's in at least one other line. We may have a mess before it's over with. But we got one. And guess what? It's on the chicken side. Let's see if I can work this sucker over to this side of the boat. Here we go. Like I said, this is one of the boards I dropped down. I'll pull this board off of here. I think I can keep it hooked up. Like I said, guys, I don't advise you to do this with planer boards. You're better off just popping them loose and dropping it down, because you can lose fish doing this if you don't keep tension on the line. We're able to do it there. Nice blue. Nice blue. Come here, sucker. Got a little mud on the belly. He might have ate that hook. Ate. Simmer down. Oh, missed you again, man. Captain failure here today, guys. There we go. Sucker ate that one. Got it. There we go. Took a little surgery on that one, but got that hook out of there. It was laid in the bottom of his mouth. Good looking fish. Suspended. Back alive. Well, folks, that was nice right off the bat to get one on one of the suspended baits. Like I said, I was out here fishing yesterday and just happened to put a down line suspended underneath the boat, and I caught fish on it. I caught a lot of fish on it. Considering I only had one line was chicken down, I think I caught 5 out of 12 fish on that suspended bait. So I wanted to try it today, trying it with a planer board to increase the spread. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull down through here, kind of the same area, and just going slow, man. Water's down to 49.2 degrees. It's cold, it's a cold day. Water temperatures ain't gonna get any higher, sadly. Maybe toward the weekend, but I think we're getting into that 40-degree range, and generally when that happens, it's when these fish are really, you start seeing them toward the river channels and some of the deeper water. So they've got those options of having deeper water. So we're gonna pull through here, see if we can stick another one. Got us an eater right here, guys. This one comes on the perch side of the boat, even though I may have to land him on the chicken side. Let's see what's, it's gonna be all across this drift sock here. I'll let him just go to that side. I think that's gonna be the wiser decision. We can bring him this way, work him to that side. Doesn't feel super huge, so he hit it like a freight train though, I'll tell you that. Again, this one was on a perch bait, one of the bigger baits. I think that was the big old fillet strip. It looked like a fish. Might be able to get him back to this side. Let's see here. Chilly day, right around 40 degrees. Oh, he's into that other line. Get him up here. There he comes. There he comes. I think he's gonna take a couple of lines here. It's gonna be a mess. This is gonna be a mess. He's got a planer board and another line. Pow. Sucker's about lassoed. Oh, dang, got a lot of mud on him. Drop him. Yep, that's one way to get the half the tangle done anyway. Come here, sucker. You slimy devil. That mud. Oh, blue. A monster. But another one, that one was on a Santee rig. Let me get all this stuff untangled. Whew, look at that mess. Look at that mess. One of the bigger rigs. It's gonna be a good time to reset. Say one of the bigger baits. Not a super huge bait, but sizable, at least in presentation. It looks big. So a lot of scent. Anytime you take one of these fillets, it opens up a whole lot of meat, a whole lot of scent. It doesn't just have to be blood. People kind of think you got to have blood the whole time. Not like we're dealing with a shark here. These fish are keying in on a lot of the proteins and stuff in fish and chicken. So nice looking bait to work. Get it back out there. See if we can get on another fish. All right, bam, there's another one. That one on a Santee rig. and that one on a piece of perch. Nice little fish. Hit it good, hit it hard. Thought he was bigger than he was. I've just got a variety of stuff out, guys. I've got 8 rods out total, 4 of them with perch, 4 of them with chicken, and trying some stuff here just to see what's going to work. I mean, like I said, with the suspended baits, the Santee rigs, planer bores, I'm switching one over to a bobber here in a second to put it out behind the boat. So just trying some different things. The bite yesterday was good. Totally different day today though. We've got colder temperatures. It's completely overcast. Yesterday was bright and sunny, so bite's a little bit slow, but all you can do is fish, and we're covering water nice and slow. See if we can stick one. Guys, I think we got one eating the chicken bait. Yep, he's on there. Boom. Hooked up, hooked up. Not sure where this one went to. Some stuff out of the way here. This one took a weird hit. It kind of, I seen the rod move, but it's not like it folded up, and it looks like he's up toward the top. This was a Santee rig. This was on the bottom. This is fish number 2 on chicken, and fish number 2 on a Santee rig. We've only had one on a suspended bait so far. Trying to work him in between all this stuff here. I actually switched out one of the planers to one of the Patriot cat bobbers. I'll try that. I got it floated way back there. This one is probably going to get into that planer board line. If it doesn't, I'll be shocked, but happy. Yep, it's in it. Bottom line is we're hooked up. We'll deal with the problem. Chilly day, hands are cold. I've been dealing with some lines here and stuff, and chilly day. Luckily, the wind's not super bad, so that makes it a little more tolerable. This is a good eater-sized fish again, not a monster. Oh, yeah. Another one that has swallowed a bait. Actually didn't swallow it, he's just hooked in the bottom of the mouth. Got it. It's a great thing about these pliers. There's the fish, by the way. Get him released. You can get down there into the bottom of their throat, and I say bottom of the throat, it's their mouth. You can see where it's in the bottom, and you just basically push forward with this and then flip it up and it comes out. So got that one released. Another one on chicken. My hands are freezing and we're still fishing. Well, pal, there's another one on a Santee rig. Chicken this time. So chicken is jumped back into the lead here a little bit. It's not on fire as far as the bite goes. It's a little bit slower than it was yesterday. So it kind of is what it is. You know, if you can pull a fish out of here, 1.5 fish an hour in the wintertime, it's a pretty good day. So as I've said before, and I'll say it again for the new folks, if you're in a boat fishing, you got to slow down. You got to really keep the boat slow. I'm cruising along at about 0.4 right now. That seems to make a difference. Most of the movement I've got right now is current. They're moving water through the system. So even here on the lower end of the reservoir that I'm fishing, I've got water moving me. So there's a big part of the water of the boat movement coming from that. But slowing it down, and I'm downsizing baits. I had that one big bait get hit. I've got another big bait out there on that another rod, but the other 2 fish came on smaller cuts of bait. So that's another thing. If you want to put fish in a boat, try downsizing. That usually seems to help. Folks, I think I got a very small fish on this rod. Very small fish. If he stays on, I can't even tell. It was bopping and jerking and hucklebucking, and I think if it's a fish, it's channel cat. We'll see. But it's on chicken. Chicken. Winner. Chicken dinner. You out here. Not as many suspended today. I thought with having a couple of more suspended baits out, I would pop a couple more in the boat, but it's not happened. My goodness, this may be a new record for small one. Holy cow. Look at that sucker. Wow. That's skill. Catching big fish is easy. Takes skill to catch a little one. Gonna be a quick release. Shoot. Boom. He does count. There's not a lot of pride in catching that one, but he does count. That bait back out there. That's a little one. He had a bad day. The good thing is he's not going into skillet, so I guess his day wasn't too bad. But that's 4, 3 on chicken. Well, folks, it's getting on later up in the day here. We only got about probably, I don't know, 45 minutes of light left. It's getting chilly too, starting to get to that cold soak point where you are just soaking with cold. It's chilly, but hey, you got to fish when you can, okay? It's going to be cold for several months, and I'm either going to whine about it and sit at home and not fish, or I'm going to get out and fish. And I'm blessed to live in a place where the water don't freeze, so we can get the boat out here and fish. But man, I made a move over to the river channel to try that area. Suspended rods, 4 baits suspended, 4 on the bottom. I have not had a bite of fish. Been dragging this for about an hour. Came up out of the river channel. I'm up onto the ledge. I'm not marking a lot of fish. It's the same area I came through yesterday and caught fish. So it's kind of disheartening that there's really not a lot in here. It's like these things have moved overnight. I'm going to keep dragging for a little bit. I'm going to see what happens, but I'm not feeling super duper optimistic. But the one thing that can always happen out here in the wintertime is you get a pocket of these fish where they're feeding and biting, and man, boom, it can be on fire and it can change quickly. It's really what happened with me on my last trip. I fished for 2 or 3 hours without catching a fish, and then finally got into an area where there were some biting fish. So things can turn around quickly. You just got to keep, you know, you got to keep covering water. You got to keep moving around, changing places. And if they're hungry, and there's some dumb ones, you may just find them. So that's what I'm hoping for, but otherwise, just happy to be here. All right, girls and boys, we got one going. On perch. One of the bigger baits. Yes, I'm cheating. 37 battery powered heated gloves. I did some videos on these things last year, and I dug them out today just to give them a shot. Keep my hands nice and warm. I actually have the vest on too. It's a battery powered heated vest. I don't have it turned on. It's not quite cold enough for me to have to do that, but I did put it on in case it got windy. So yeah, if you don't like the cold, check them out. 37 is the name of it. They're actually, I think, in Sweden or Denmark or somewhere over in Europe, but make some pretty cool stuff. Get this sucker landed. He's all herky-jerky, head shaking. Got there. There we go. Get you around the drift sock would be nice, but I bet you're not going to do that, are you? Oh, do I bring him across the top of it? Oh, get him across the top of the drift sock. Yes, yes, yes. Made it. Get my gloves off. Got a little light there where the battery's running. Summer. You guys have noticed these are all like cookie cutter size fish, man. They are all very similar in size, except for that little bitty one. Pretty blues. They're feeding. They're feeding. This one is not on the bottom, or not on suspended. The suspended stuff isn't working as good today. I'm gonna make a move here in a minute. I may drift this a little bit further though, just to see. I was gonna try closer to the river channel. There's the bait on this one. That's that same piece of perch. I put it back out there. Got a bigger float. I'm gonna put it back out. I may keep drifting this for a little ways just to see, but I want to go back toward the river channel. We're on a flat, as I hit the camera, adjacent to the river channel. So I'm going to work my way back over there here in a minute. I'm going to keep pulling through here. I mean, I'm catching fish at a steady pace. It's not on fire, but it's steady. So it's hard to walk away from biting fish. So I'm going to keep pulling this until it ends, until the bite ends, and then make a move. Now, a little side note on suspending baits. There's a couple ways you can do it. Obviously, doing it underneath a bobber or a cork, a slip float, is the easiest way, especially if you're bank fishing. That's the ideal way to get them floated up off the bottom. You float them up off the bottom with a Santee rig. It's just floating them as high. It's not as easy. And the other way is straight off the side of the boat or straight off of a pier if you're fishing off of a pier. It's just any way to get it into the middle of the water column. What I mean by the water column is that area from the bottom to the top. That's the water column. Putting it somewhere there in the middle. Sometimes fish are there. Sometimes that's where they're feeding at. A lot of times that's driven by bait. There's bait holding in certain water depths because of maybe plankton, water temperature, you know, pH. Who knows what the reason is, but that's why the fish are there. Sometimes they're feeding. So that's the advantages to doing it. I was hoping it was going to be better than it is today. We did get one, and I've got, you know, 4 other rods out suspended, so it's not exactly on fire like it has been. So, but I don't think the bite is either, and that's just the way it goes in wintertime. You can have good days, you can have bad days, but when you get a weather change like we've got today, all bets are off on what's going to happen, especially when you compare it to what happened yesterday in totally different conditions. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you're gonna like. I'd watch that one and then that one. No, do that one first and then that one. I don't know, just watch them both. They're both good.